for some reason, when I was doing it using just the camera from the computer, it wasn't showing up right. Just like this one was weird. It wasn't working. So I don't know what was going on. There was all sorts of weirdness. So I don't understand what the weirdness is. There's just weirdness, okay? Just weirdness, that's all. Just saying weirdness. What else? What else am I saying? Anyway, so I just, when is too soon to get rid of the Christmas tree, really? I mean, the day after Christmas to me seems fucked. You can't do it. You can't get rid of the Christmas tree that quickly, right? I mean, I don't. I think it should stay up to at least like after the New Year, and like even further. I mean, because I'm lazy, so if I can keep it up all the way up January, that way it's up for 30 days. You put it up like what, mid-December, beginning of December, right after Thanksgiving, typically, right? So the beginning of December, and then it stays up the whole month, and you give it another a couple weeks, at least a couple weeks, right? I can't imagine throwing it out too early is kind of sinful to me. So yeah, because it's a lot of work. Setting up the holidays is a ton of work. So I don't know. That's just me. This is me. Call me crazy, but I don't think that should be the case. All right. That's what's going on with me. All right. So hopefully YouTube's working. So YouTube was working really weird. For some reason, it wasn't properly doing the whole like I was just using the camera on the computer, not this one. See, because I've got one camera here, I've got a camera here, and I've got a camera here. See? So I've got 3 cameras. But it was only one camera on my phone or on the laptop, and it was giving me just fits. Plus the lighting was horrible. So if you saw it the last couple nights, sorry, it looked like shit. This one looks much better. Look, I've got a background. It says on the air. You can almost see the Death Star. If I change cameras, maybe you can see the Death Star. No, you still can't see it. Oh, man. I got to work on that. I got to work on this so the Death Star shows up in the preview. So if you're not looking at it widescreen, only narrow, you don't see the Death Star. But there's a Death Star like right here, like a giant-ass Death Star. Does this one do it? No. Shit. Man. Telling you, you're just missing out. All right, that's how that works. My bad. Totally my bad, Abigail. What can I say? All right. So yeah, music history. Music, it's slow this time of year because there's not a ton going on. There's not a lot of festivals, not a lot of fairs, not a lot of live music. So that's part of it. So we don't see a ton of musical stuff that happens this time of year. It's just because it's this time of year. That's the truth. But I do have stuff. I did find some stuff. So we'll have to go back. I didn't do all my stuff today because I got in late and, that happens. So I apologize once again for my lackadaisical approach to my job. But shit, man, it's not like they're paying me millions of dollars to do this. I mean, if they were, I'd probably be a little more adroit in doing my job here to make sure it's done in a timely fashion. But this is what you get. So in 1956, Elvis Presley made chart history by having 10 songs on the Billboard Top 100, including Heartbreak Hotel, Hound Dog, Don't Be Cruel, Love Me Tender, all on at once on the 29th of December. So that's pretty good for Elvis. Elvis the pelvis. Elvis is the king. Remember, Elvis is the king. Okay. Elvis is everywhere. Let's see. First visit to London, Bob Dylan played the Troubadour on this day, the 29th of December. He played the Troubadour. That's a Bob Dylan-y thing. So we have to, appreciate the Bob Dylan-ness of it all, right? What else? See, why is it looking slow tonight? See, the downloads just seem to be going a little bit slow. Maybe it's me. I don't know. It could be me. I don't know. It could be just my computer. It could be that it's, Tuesday, Monday. What night is tonight? Monday night. Holy shit. It's Monday night. See, I totally forget. I'm lost without seeing the garbage cans outside. I'm lost. It's because when the garbage cans are green, that means the next day's Tuesday. If the garbage cans are blue, that means the next day Thursday. Since I didn't go out to the driveway, I haven't seen the garbage cans, I don't know what day it is. That's how it works. I only know what day it is by the fucking garbage cans. How pathetic of a life is that? So this is funny shit, all right? In 1964, the Liverpool Youth Employment Service announced that some school leavers, meaning graduate students, were finding it difficult to get jobs because their Beatle-style haircut and clothing were unacceptable to employers. If that's all we had to worry about was unacceptable to employers because of our haircuts and our clothing choices. Don't mention piercings, tattoos, pronouns, shoes, pants, or anything else. I'm just saying. There just seems to be a lot of other things that we have to worry about now that they were worrying about in 1964. Haircuts and clothing unacceptable to employers. Whatever. That's just bullshit. You know, just hire people because they're good at their job. That's it. All right? In 1966, working at Abbey Road Studios, Paul McCartney began work on his new song, Penny Lane, recording 6 takes of keyboard tracks and various percussion effects. The song title is derived from the name of a street near John Lennon's house in the band's hometown of Liverpool. McCartney and Lennon would meet at Penny Lane Junction in the Mossley Hill area to catch a bus into the center of the city. All right, fair enough. Penny Lane is a thing. It's a place. It's a happening. I guess that's real, right? We find that to be a real thing. I mean, if it's not, well, then, you know, it's not, right? Who cares? Simon Ortiz. I love that. Oh, who's this? Liana. Who's Liana? I want to see this. I'm going to come check you out, Liana. Where are you at? Oops, am I on the wrong computer? I don't even know. I can't tell. Why does it work? It's working slow tonight. Something's not happening. I don't know. Something. All right. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, see, so YouTube's been acting really weird. I'm not sure why YouTube's acting so weird. Oh, no, she split. She saw I checked her out, and she was like, I'm out of here, man. That's so strange. That's so weird. So strange. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, let's see. The Jimi Hendrix Experience made their debut on the UK TV show Top of the Pops, performing Hey Joe. In the late 1965 Los Angeles-based garage band, The Leaves recorded the earliest known commercial version of Hey Joe, which was released as a single entitled Hey Joe, Where You Gonna Go? The re-recorded song, released in 1966 as a single hit, became the U.S., reaching number 31 in the Billboard charts Top 100. Now, see, that's why I find interesting that song, if you listen to it by The Leaves, sucks. It's not great. It just isn't. Let's see. Riley, sup. Riley's back. I saw Riley the other day. Let's see. Hi, Riley. Hi, Riley. Oh, Riley's gone. So I say hi to Riley. She's like, out of here, man. I'm leaving. Don't call me out. That's funny. It's funny. Okay, it's funny shit. That's all I can tell you. So I'm just wondering, which is the better quality when I'm using the, well, I know it is. This is much better quality. So maybe it's that, you know, the quality is too good. You can't believe that it's real. I don't know. Oh, man. Let's see. Led Zeppelin appeared at the Civic Auditorium in Portland on their first North American tour, opening for Vanilla Fudge. The average fee charged by Zeppelin for a concert during their tour was around $1,500. $1,500! It's been stated that for one show they performed for a mere $320. Could you imagine that? Led Zeppelin playing for $1,500? Nobody plays for $1,500. Hell, bands charge that much for a single ticket. So in 1968, you could hire Led Zeppelin for $1,500 to play a whole show. Now you couldn't even spend $1,500 on a single ticket to go see a band like that. Yeah. Oh, how the times have changed, right? That's just fucked up right there. That seriously is just ridiculous that it could change that much. That there's that much disparity in how much people charge to go see music. I talked about this the other day. Look, if I'm going to go see a band, I cannot justify spending $500 to go see a band. I don't care what band it is. I really can't. It doesn't really matter. I mean, that's insane to think about spending $500 to go see a show. You know, Paul McCartney, no way, I can't do it. You know, I'll spend $500 to go to a festival, okay? Because if it's 3 days, you're going to see what? 3, 4, 5, 6 bands a day. Let's say you see 5 bands a day, okay? So 5, 10, 15 bands. So 15 bands divided by 500, much more reasonable to me. I can justify that, but I cannot justify spending $500 for a single ticket. I just can't, because then you also have what? You have parking. You've got beverages, you've got food, if you need to get sunscreen or whatever else. I mean, think about that. It's crazy that bands can command that kind of a ticket price. And how can someone that, unless you're making ridiculous amounts of money, how can you go see more than 1 or 2 bands if the ticket prices are so exorbitant? I mean, you have to justify that budgeting because it's just crazy. So no, I think that the whole band pricing is out of control. It's nuts. It really is. It's just too crazy how much artists charge for tickets these days. So to think about that, Led Zeppelin was charging $1,500 per show. That's what they made. That's what a performance cost, $1,500 in 1968. Whereas again, tickets for, you know, big bands sell for $1,500. A ticket these days is nuts. And I don't know how it's justified, because again, think of it. I mean, if you're still with me and you're a concert goer, how much are you willing to pay for a band? Even your favorite band, right? Even your favorite band, how much are you willing to pay? Because realistically, you have to make hard choices. If you know you want to go see a band and your tickets are going to be what, $200 each? 5 shows is $1,000. It's $1,000 of tickets. I mean, $1,000 buys a lot of shit, you know, it really does. So I don't know. I can't justify that kind of expense for concerts. Like I said, unless it's a festival where you can go see multiple bands. I mean, think about it. Some festivals you're going to spend $500, but there's 10 bands a day. So what, you see 30 bands in 3 days? Sure, I can do that. Even if it's 10 bands, then it's what, $50 a band? Sure, then you're spending $50 a ticket per band, and you get to see the band that you want to see. But yeah, that's just crazy. That's just crazy that's what we've come to. Nuts to me. Nuts. Completely nuts. I don't know. In 1979, Rod Stewart went to #1 in the UK charts with his Greatest Hits Volume 1, Best of Compilation. The album, which included songs written by Cat Stevens, The First Cut is the Deepest, Danny Whitten, I Don't Want to Talk About It, and Gavin Sutherland, Sailing, spent 5 weeks at the top of the charts. Good old Rod Stewart, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. Rod Stewart. Liana, you're back. She's back. Outstanding. Oh, no, see, this is Death by Misadventure. Tim Hardin in 1980. I don't know who Tim Hardin is, sorry. But he was an American singer and songwriter. He died of a heroin overdose. Okay, that would be a death by misadventure. Okay, death by misadventure is when anybody's doing something ridiculously stupid that you know could potentially kill you. It's not an adventure, it's a misadventure. If you're willingly taking heroin and you overdose, then unfortunately that's death by misadventure. Right? I mean, drunk in the streets of New Orleans during Mardi Gras, stepping in front of a speeding beer delivery truck, it's death by misadventure. That's what happens, because that was definitely a misadventure. And if you do step in front of a speeding beer truck at Mardi Gras, you're probably going to get killed because they're not stopping. They're just out there making deliveries. I would know. I've been almost killed by a speeding beer truck at Mardi Gras. It's never a good thing. Again, no one wants to get killed by a beer truck. I mean, I don't think that's what should be on your tombstone, right? Would have, could have, should have. It definitely shouldn't be. But killed by beer truck at Mardi Gras also probably should not be what you want as your epitaph on your tombstone. That's just me. My personal opinion is that is not the way to go. And if you do go that way, God bless you. You died the way you lived. Walking across the street going, this is awesome, with a beer in your hand. Sorry, that's just, that's just me, man. That's just me. I probably will get killed by a, beer truck one day crossing the street at Mardi Gras. Because why not? If you're going to go, that's the way to do it, right? In 1984, Band Aid were number one on the UK singles charts with Do They Know It's Christmas? And Madonna was number one on the US singles chart with Like a Virgin. Do They Know It's Christmas? Had estimated sales of over $11.5 million. So, of course, and I love that. In the United Kingdom, they have a Christmas thing for number one. And in this country, we have Madonna saying Like a Virgin. Brilliant. Just brilliant. It's stupendous, ladies and gentlemen. Stupendous. Let's see. Beautiful South, number one. I don't really care. I don't really care about that in 1994. That makes no sense to me. I don't really care about the Beautiful South. It doesn't make sense. Oh, the Spice Girls. 3 ferrets. No, this sounds like the intro of a joke, all right? 3 ferrets named Beckham, Posh Spice, and Baby Spice after the Spice Girls were used to lay power cables for a rock concert being held in Greenwich, London, England. Workers were now to what? Workers were not allowed to dig up the turf at the Royal Park. Organizers found that rods could not push the cables through the tiny tunnels, which frequently bend and dogleg. The ferrets were eased into a tiny nylon harness with wires, which were then attached to a rope. The animals ran into a series of ducts, which were under the stage like RABID runs, leading the cables with them. The ferrets instinctively made for any hole in the ground and are enticed to the end of the duct by a slab of smelly meat. The fuck? The New Year's Eve concert simply read Eurythmics and Brian Ferry. So this is a real story, okay? Sorry, this is not something that's made up. I'm reading this to you and I'm laughing my ass off. I'm sorry, but this is absolutely real. This is real. Okay, I'm going to read this again. All right, so this apparently is a concert in London, England, Greenwich, London, England, okay? And the concert is simply read, the Eurythmics and Brian Ferry. Now, to get the organizers to work for this show, they weren't allowed to dig up the turf at Royal Park. So they grabbed 3 ferrets, like the little weaselly things, ferrets. And one was named Beckham, the other was named Posh Spice, and the other was named Baby Spice. 3 ferrets. They found that they had tunnels that you have to put the wires through, like the wire harness to get from like the soundboard to the stage. And they could not get rods to go through it because they weren't straight. They had lots of bends and dog legs to them. So they took the ferrets and they put tiny nylon harnesses with wires, which were then attached to a rope. The ferrets ran through a series of ducts that were under the stage, like, rabbit runs. You can't see them, but they're buried pipes, leading the cables with them. The ferrets instinctively make for any hole in the ground and are enticed to come out the other end with a slab of smelly meat. I'm sorry, this is just completely fucked up. It's one of the most ridiculous stories I think I've ever reported on. Using ferrets to drag cables for a concert. I mean, it makes sense. All right, don't get me wrong. I've run cables through ductwork, and I understand how hard it can be to push cables and pull cable runs. But I mean, I got to give whoever came up with this, you get my applause and my absolute unwavering appreciation that you used fucking ferrets to grab cables to go through rabbit runs to run the sound cables. I mean, it's genius, but I just don't know where you're getting ferrets from. Oh, that's fucking brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant. All right, somebody absolutely gets kudos for the day for that one. We'll give them clicks. Oh my God, that's so funny. I mean, come on, you have to appreciate that. If you can't appreciate the fact that somebody used ferrets to run cable wiring for a concert, I mean, you should not get any enjoyment out of anything then, because that right there is one of the best things ever. Oh, man. 2001, Aretha Franklin was suing a U.S. newspaper which alleged that the star had an alcohol problem. The singer's lawyers filed a federal lawsuit against the Florida-based star, claiming she was defamed by an article in the paper in December 2000, and were seeking $50 million in damages. I mean, I don't know. Was she an alcoholic? I don't know. Oh, this is a sad one. In 2002, 4 fans sued Creed. Oh, poor Creed, along with the band's management, after a disastrous concert at the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Chicago. The fans said frontman Scott Stapp appeared so intoxicated that he was unable to sing or perform adequately and left the stage on several occasions during songs for long periods of time, rolled around on the floor of the stage, and appeared to pass out during the performance. The case was later thrown out of court. But it's true. I do know people that were at that show, and they said he was absolutely just shit-faced, completely in the bag. That Scott Stapp just completely was just fucking blacked out drunk trying to sing on stage. Couldn't remember the words to the songs. Passed out, like fell down, left the concert a bunch of times. Yeah, they should have not thrown that case out. They should have let them sue him. Creed. Perfect sense. What a mess. Fucking A, Creed. Ugh, God. If you're a Creed fan, sorry. I just, yeah, that's not, doesn't work for me. Not a fan. I am not that guy. I'm not a fan of Creed. Oh, Jesus, that's so funny. Sorry, I'm still laughing at the fucking ferrets. I really am. In 2010, Polestar, which is sort of the industry Bible, it reported that Bon Jovi was the highest earning tour act of the year, taking in over $200 million. AC/DC landed at number 2 for the second year in a row, with ticket sales from their recent trek totaling $177 million. U2, which was the top worldwide act in 2009, came in 3rd with ticket sales totaling $160 million. Lady Gaga and Metallica were number 4 and 5. Now that's 2010, because we know that at some point, probably even tonight, I'll have to tell you a story about, Taylor Swift, who again made $1 billion fucking dollars. Beyonce just got made $1 billion, So that now, $150 million is not a lot for the bands anymore. It's just not. Okay, in 2012, according to sales data, Adele's 21 had overtaken Oasis, What's the Story, Morning Glory, to become the UK's 4th biggest selling album of all time. The latest data confirmed that Oasis's 1995 second album had sold 4,500,000 copies to date, while Adele's 21 had surged ahead with sales at 4,600,000 copies. The news came just over a year since 21 overtook Amy Winehouse's Back to Black to become the UK's biggest selling album of the 21st century. Adele, but that was in 12. So you're talking 13 years ago. Again, Taylor Swift. She's going to blow those numbers out of the water. That's just because that's what Taylor Swift does. She can't be stopped. She's a force to be reckoned with. Sup, C-Bus? C-Bus in the house. Yes, a force to be reckoned with once again. Taylor Swift with her insane amounts of stuff. That's just how that works. Let's see, what else? There's more. Oh, Mr. Morrissey. A one-of-a-kind signed hardback copy of Autobiography by Morrissey, the only copy of the full-color hard copy book signed by the author, sold on eBay for $11,500, with all proceeds going to PETA as a New Year's president to help prevent the slaughter of animals for meat. Morrissey signed only one copy of the book, the cover of which pictures the singer-songwriter bare-chested in a swimming pool. Oh, Morrissey. So he signed one book for $11,000 so that he could donate to PETA. Just donate the money. You have enough money, Morrissey. You fucking wanker. You fucking wanker. That's right. Jello, what's up? Oops, screen's black. Oh, shit. I didn't even notice that. Wow, thanks. That's just totally me. Man, I just fucked that up. Sorry, totally was not paying attention at all. I was so busy paying attention to other things I did not even notice that the screen was black. Pilot error, sorry. Totally my bad. Totally on me. See if I can fix that. That better? We're better over here now? Totally my bad. Pilot error. Totally pilot error. It happens, all right? It totally happens. Bad news on my part. Totally pilot error to that one. Let me see what I got on here, if I can make this work a little better. Can I make this work better now? Let me see. Yes, maybe. Yeah, I can do that better now. All right. Morrissey, you wanker. Let's see. Benji Curtis died. No, we don't care about Benji Curtis. I don't really know who Benji Curtis is. Niels Innes, community also. Okay, see, that's it. You know, again, the problem is there's not a ton of stories, so it's just a lot of people died, which we know people died, but that's, you know, sorry about that one. Oh, and of course, did I not say it or what? I totally said Taylor Swift would be in this report because she always is. In 2023, Taylor Swift was #1 in the U.S. charts with 1989 Taylor's Version, the 4th re-recorded album by Swift as part of her re-recording project following the 2019 dispute over her master recordings and her back catalog. The album topped record charts in Australia, Canada, European territories, including France, Germany, Italy, Spain, and the United Kingdom. In the United States, 1989, Taylor's Version marked Swift's 13th #1 album on the Billboard 200. So, right. So, again, you know, what does that mean? How many did she sell? I don't have a clue. But again, it's going to be a fucking billion because she sold $1 billion worth. That's how that works. Taylor Swift, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking Taylor Swift. It's a beautiful thing, just so you know. It's a beautiful thing. Taylor Swift. So there it is. Yes, I mean, not a ton of stuff. So let's see. I did see there were some birthdays today, but they're mostly actors' birthdays. Let's see. Who was the actors that had birthdays today? Sorry, I have my list up here, but then I lost my camera, so that happens. Let's see, birthdays of actors, because there wasn't a lot of musicians' birthdays today. That happens, you know. Sometimes people aren't born, and sometimes they are born. So Mary Tyler Moore, her birthday was today, but she died in 2017, so she's not around anymore. John Voight, he's 87 today. He was in Deliverance, Midnight Cowboy. You know, John Voight. He was also in like National Treasure. Who else? Jude Law is 53 today. Talented Mr. Ripley, Grand Budapest Hotel. hell? I got to meet Jude Law. He was very nice. I met him as part of the Harry Potter thing that I went to in California when I went to the Harry Potter thing for Warner Brothers. I got to meet all the whole cast and crew of those guys. That was super fun. Got to ride all the rides. We were hanging backstage, and it was very cool. It was a very cool experience to go to that thing. What else? I don't know. I like I said, man, it's just this time of year, it's ridiculously slow when it comes to whole music industry stuff. So I don't have a ton of things. We were talking about a band last night. We met a guy on here who is, he basically is just, he's like, I'll put you on the guest list for the Newport Music Hall. I'm like, well, yeah, of course you will. And we'll be going to the Newport Music Hall because I want to go see this guy's band now. Because now it's like, you know, so he's going to put us on the list for the just March 7th date. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go see the concert on March the 7th. I'll get him on the air. I met a country music guy last night. He seemed very nice. Blake Compton or something. Blake something. I followed him, so we'll see. Seems like he'll be a nice enough guy, right? What else? What else do you want to talk about music-wise? You know, somebody want to talk music stuff? Yes, no? Anybody exciting? No? Addie came and left. Addie's like, I'm here now. I'm gone. Right, because, you know, it's funny. So, again, I don't know what's going on with the whole YouTube thing. Like, there's nobody here. It says 7 views, but I'm not sure what's going on with it. Concurrent viewers. Very strange how the YouTube is acting weird. It's acting weird. And I don't know why. I don't know why. What can I say? And that's weird too, actually. It's very strange. I'm not sure why that's the case. What's going on with that? But, you know, I could be completely mistaken at this point. But yeah, so that's birthday is Jude Law. Let's see, what else did I have? Oh, I had something else there was too. So let's see. I know I was looking at something else. Kind of some fun stuff here. Come on now. Supposed to give me this new info right here. All right. Boop. There it is. Come back. All right. Okay. So Jane's Addiction did settle the altercation lawsuit, apparently. If you remember, there was that 2024 Boston concert where good old Perry Farrell got into an actual fight with his band on stage. Which is really kind of fucked up if you think about it. I mean, Perry Farrell's kind of a wacky guy in the first place. All right. I mean, if you've ever seen Jane's Addiction perform, it's, you know, it's kind of a weird performance anyway. But Perry Farrell to actually get into a fist fight with Dave Navarro is kind of nuts. But I guess more than a year after Jane's Addiction got into this altercation, the group settled all legal matters stemming from the incident. It did have to go to court. A Superior Court of California in the County of Los Angeles dismissed the lawsuits involving Farrell, Dave Navarro, Eric Avery, and Stephen Perkins. The dismissal came on the 22nd of December, according to the court documents. The outlet notes that it seems to confirm that all involved parties resolved the matters outside of court. Basically, in September of 24, Jane's Addiction was playing a show in Boston when Perry Farrell grew visibly upset. The show came to a halt when he attempted to attack Navarro on stage in front of the crowd and their bandmates. It led to the band abruptly canceling the whole concert and then the whole tour. Following the lawsuit, the members of Jane's Addiction released a joint statement saying that they offered clarity on what happened and expressed regret over how the matter was publicly handled. We'd like to clarify the events surrounding the cancellation of our tour after the show in Boston in September of 2024. After the show, without notice to Perry, we unilaterally determined it would be best not to continue the tour and made inaccurate statements about Perry's mental health, which we regret. Now, Perry Farrell's been to the radio station, so I've met Perry Farrell on a few occasions. He was always a bit aloof and always a bit distracted in the first place. Mad genius? Sure. Maybe, mad? Sure. Maybe genius? Sure. But, it's sad to see them go. I will be very unhappy to not see them perform again. At one show we were at, I remember I was in the pit doing photographs, and Perry he had little devil horns on. He gave me his devil horns during the show, which I think is, fine. I still have them somewhere. Let's see. Now I know this is one that just happened. I was just reading about this earlier. So Kevin Parker of Tame Impala revealed that he actually seeks out negative reviews of his music. Different social media platforms have each become their own little bubbles of differing opinions. Parker said that he's still conflicting reviews and looking for them depending on where he's looking. Depending on which pocket of the internet you look, you'll find completely different reactions, he told Rush magazine. Parker released the latest Tame Impala album, Deadbeat, in October of 25. The reviews are mostly mixed, and Parker admitted that releasing music is weird these days. For those negative reviews you got, I'll go on YouTube or Instagram, and there'll be so much positivity, but I'll still scroll until I find the negative ones. And we do it all, right? He reflected, Parker did, that the process of releasing music and how dropping a new album can feel almost violating. That's especially true of solo projects like Tame Impala, where the work is the product of one person's inner world. Things can get pretty personal, and the releasing of these out into the world can be very daunting. I can see that. I can see where that could be a little bit weird. Tame Impala, I think, has gone through so many alliterations. I have some songs I listen to Tame Impala that I just love, and there's others I listen to. I'm just like, I'm not loving them. I'm like, okay, they're all right. It's nothing spectacular to me. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. I think it just depends. But that's just, I don't know. It has to be that. Parker says when an album drops, it no longer belongs to the artist. Making the album may have been difficult, but letting go is harder still. Sure, why not? I could see that. I could see it being harder still. It's the baby that you've been growing for a year or two, the thing that you've stressed and cried over, laughed over, danced yourself over, loved and hated, the thing that you followed you around for so long, then suddenly seeing the light of day and being shared with the world. It's such an overwhelming idea, the idea that these songs were once yours and now they're not yours, that they belong to the world. The transition can weigh quite heavily on the artist, I think. This is Parker speaking, not me. Releasing an album for the public to consume and comment on seems similar to having your personal diary read out loud. Sometimes it even feels a little violating, says Parker, because the songs were yours and now they're not. Well, then why the fuck do you even write them and let them out there? I think that's a complete I don't know. That just sounds, is that a cop-out? I mean, it sounds like that could be a cop-out. It sounds like that'd be a cop-out to displace yourself from negative reviews. I think, yes, any artist that you write that stuff, of course you're writing it for the public, though. It's yours to begin with, but you write it in a way that it's going to be made and brought out into light. So no, I don't think that that's the case at all. So I think for him to say that is definitely a cop-out on his part. That's just me. That's my personal take on it. I could be completely wrong. I just don't think so in this case. Anyway, yeah, I mean, Tame Impala, I do like them. Don't get me wrong. I think there's some amazing songs from Tame Impala, but then there's others that are just, I don't know. Not so sure. Not so sure. I saw there was a man that was charged with Tupac's murder. I don't know. It's. I don't know if it's worth exploring and diving into. It seems like it's a little bit. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Tupac's murder. That they have the right person, or if they're just trying to find somebody because it's been so long that they have to find somebody at this point. You know. You tell me. London's post-punk revival. Let's see. Any bands that we know? Post-punk, oversimplified. Bands like Black Country, New Road, Idols. Oh, Idols are great. I mean, they're oh yeah, okay. Fontaines DC. All right. So let's see. This is. All right. This is a good one. Yeah, Fontaines DC is definitely a good band. If you've not heard of Fontaines DC, highly recommend listening to them. Find them, search them out, listen to them. They're good. Oh, shit. All right. Let's see. So this is a thing that has to do with, I guess these are sort of 3 music scenes that fans didn't ignore, but maybe the music industry did. I could see that. We're good at missing things when they come out, and we're good at catching them later. Music scenes may come and go like the tide, but some become the hidden backbone of their home cities. Not every band makes it big, but underground scenes are still crucial for building community and creating local culture. So here's 3 music scenes that have gone relatively unappreciated by the mainstream, but remain important tapestries of their regions. We've got Florida hardcore. Considering Florida hardcore punk and metalcore don't usually spring to mind, however they really should. Originally being from the St. Pete, Tampa area, the authority of hardcore music scene may be alive and well for quite some time. It's a little harder to find these days, but there's this overwhelming downtown development that has pushed small venues out of the way. The focus has turned from hyper-local scenes and settled on a non-pleasing and continuing wave of tourists, but there still hardcore remains as the backbone of St. Pete and its surrounding cities. Miami has also been a long-time hub of hardcore. Remaining hidden beneath the city's obvious luxury, Florida hardcore is close to collaborating with skate culture, and it only thrives because it is truly underground. Where it is? Nowadays, you really got to go and know someone within the culture to find it. But there's a plethora of local breweries that are a good place to start. So Florida hardcore. Philly underground. In a similar vein, Philadelphia has a thriving underground scene. The general DIY punk ethos is almost baked into Philly mindset, an attitude that has been with the city and her residents the butt of many jokes and satires. This is the place that blesses with a chaos demon that is gritty. After all, overall, punk is Philly, tenacious and perhaps a little unhinged, all the earmarks of an underground music scene. From hardcore punk to experimental noise to shoegaze and slowcore, Philly has been producing exceptional DIY bands for decades. And why is this town such a haven for underground scene? One defining reason is the majority of Philly homes have basements. That make perfect sense, wouldn't it? You got basements, you can have underground scene because you need to actually be underground to do it. That's kind of how it works. House shows are plentiful in Philly, which allowed for more accessible music scenes and a tight-knit community, a notion that remains the heart of Philly. And then there's London post-punk. Okay, London post-punk has been having a resurgence in recent years to the point where it feels like every new post-punk band comes out of the UK. It's true, there's a lot. But it also seems like London post-punk scene in itself hasn't been recognized like most post-punk as an overall genre. The growth of the UK post-punk seems to lend itself to political climate across the pond, especially now with this post-Brexit landscape. Post-punk in the UK is often an oversimplified music scene considered elsewhere to be just a genre or style. But bands like Black Country, good. New Road, good. Idols, fuck yes. And Marju proved that it's more than a stylistic choice. In Ireland, Fontaines DC, which I've seen those guys play, fucking brilliant, have done the same, breaking out in 24 with a post-punk reckoning. While the genre goes back to the 80s following the break of hardcore scenes, the emerging community is more than just an arbitrary group. As many cities, critics, and artists who are involved in this resurgence have noticed, it's a direct response to the exhaustingly unknown future. So, yeah, I would definitely say that find those bands. Black Country, New Road, Idols, Fontaines DC, hells to the yes. All really, really solid choices to listen to if you're looking for new music, especially some good punky stuff. That's all I can tell you. There's Cassie. What's up, Cassie? Oh, we love Cassie. Hi, Cassie. Give Cassie big smiles and love. Boom. Party. Boom. There you go. Look at that. I actually typed something. I never typed anything. I'm so untyping. So there you go. That's your musical selection. But yeah, post-punk definitely happens in those cities. So if you're in Philly, yeah, there's definitely an underground. Florida I knew, just not as much as Philly. Because they do have KEXP in Philly. I've been to their studios, and XPN. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's a very cool city for sure. It's definitely got a good scene. So, all right. Well, with that note, I'm going to bail. I'm going to go do my thing. It's Monday night. People have lives to live. It's going to be Tuesday tomorrow, and we'll do this all again, but slightly different. Got my studio back, so I got my lighting back, so I don't look like I'm in a dungeon somewhere hiding in the shadows, which is much nicer than not being in the shadows. So on that note, I'm going to say adieu. I hope YouTube you found that was working okay tonight. Again, I really don't know because I haven't seen any comments from anybody. But it says there's 10 views, so okay, sure. Sounds like a plan. No idea. I just have no clue. I mean, half the time I go through life without a clue. So why should doing this live stream be any different? Don't forget to like, subscribe. You have to hit like a lot of times because, again, apparently if you hit it once, it doesn't do anything. So you have to hit it like 100 times. You're right. That's why I get 5,000 likes and I have 6.2 million. Duh. All right. So go do your life. Have a great Tuesday. Get ready for New Year's Eve. And we'll see you all tomorrow on New Year's Eve, right? Because the 30th is New Year's Eve. Right. All right. So then, with that, I will say adieu, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, and we will step back and fade to